Dr. Rosemary from the Center for Healthy Relationships here at John Brown University going to join us a little bit later on this morning. Ross, the intern's here producing the show. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. Did you see the moon?
Did I see the moon coming in?
It's like this amazing, I don't know if they call it blood moon because it's kind of that deep orange.
Yeah, keep describing it because I didn't see it. I barely saw the road coming in this morning. I was so tired.
Ross. How could you miss it? It's amazing. Maybe the sun's starting to come up too much now. I'll give you that. Okay, I'm sure that's what it was. Or that you were so focused on the road, getting here, 10 and 2, all the things. Yes, that's it.
I'm more of just a 12 guy.
Okay. You're one of those. Got it. I've seen you. That's awesome. All right. I have an issue to bring up with you.
Yeah. Oh.
You are the source of a new addiction in my life. It's all your fault. These.
Banana chips.
What in the world?
Do you like them? Oh, the package is empty. You do like them.
First of all, was it Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
You show up.
I brought them in Tuesday for the staff and crew here, and everybody said they didn't like them, but it looks like you like them now.
Here's the thing. And not just one. These are like 12-ounce bags or packages. You brought I don't know.
4, I think.
Yeah. I'm they're all over. Which, thank you for sharing. Very kind. Mm-hmm. Is this because you don't like them?
No, I actually really like them. We just bought way too many. So, I'm somebody who
Did you buy a box?
Maybe 1 or 2. I'm somebody that I get in over my head on things. So I'm I like banana chips. I'm going to buy 17 packs of them.
Was it like a big sale?
No.
Oh, so it wasn't buy 3, get 1. No. Okay.
It wasn't even a big sale.
You're just I'm stocking up.
I'm just one time at Disney World, I had these when I was starving and it was one of the greatest things I've ever put in my mouth. And now I need to buy all of them when I get back.
See, I will say, when you first brought them, I was like,
a little judgy.
These are going to taste terrible.
Yeah.
But
you're they taste like cardboard.
I guess I like cardboard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
So we got a little update from Sherry, our queen of customer service, part of the office team here at the radio station. 93. That's how many betting sets have been purchased already.
Man, almost halfway there, right?
Yes. Yeah, we've got to get to 200 by the end of next week. I saw her yesterday. She was in the conference room. Mm-hmm. I could barely see her because there was stacks and stacks of boxes of all this new bedding that's being shipped in here, which is so cool.
Yeah, I was here when the shipment arrived, and I was moving the boxes back
He's the one who actually moved them? Okay, well, good. I timed that really well.
I'm the one who trapped Sherry in there.
Sherry, where are you? So here's what we know. 93 bedding sets have been purchased. 18 pillow sets, too, which is awesome. Thank you. Plus, we had some homemade quilts, which is really special, too, that were donated. That's really cool.
Wow.
So all of this is going to go to our friends at Sleep and Heavenly Peace. They're a nonprofit, and they have provided and built 200 brand new beds for kiddos. And they're going to hand them out, but they need the bedding to be able to go with it. So they've got the beds, they've got the mattresses, no bedding. And we want some kiddos in our community to get that feeling of imagine the first night where you're brand new bed, brand new mattress that's comfortable to sleep on, because who knows what the sleeping situation has been.
Right.
And then, yes, you've got this brand new bedding set. This is yours. Pull it up. Feel all comfy.
So cool.
It's going to be amazing. So thank you. 93 have been purchased. We got to get to, we're halfway there. We got to get to 200.
Yeah.
So the deadline is the end of next week. You can purchase one online if you want. Super easy to do that and donate it. It's there's a link for info on that on our website at klrc.com. Or we're going to be at the Tawny Town Grape Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
You can drop it off there.
Absolutely,
right? Yep.
yeah. It'd be kind of cool. We're walking around with some bedding.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm just helping
making
out
a difference.
Loving on our neighbors. So, yes, we'll be there all day long. Ross, Annabeth, and I, we'll be there hanging out from noon until 5 on Saturday. We'd love to be able to say hi and say thank you.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
Ready for some good news?
We are too.
Here's your positive difference story of the day.
So Candace is one of our listeners joining us this morning. There's something very cool you guys are putting together. Tell us about this.
I'm going to try not to be emotional here, but it's great. It's a really beautiful thing. But my little girl, Adelaide, it's her golden birthday today. So she's turning 7 today, and she was born at 23 weeks. She weighed 1 pound and 3 ounces. We spent 145 days at Arkansas Children's Hospital in Little Rock. We started out at Willow Creek. We were there for 2 days, and their NICU was amazing. But we got life flighted, unfortunately, to Children's in Little Rock because she needed surgery. I spent the majority of my time at the Ronald McDonald House. Of course, we lived in Gravette at the time. Adelaide today is amazing and thriving and doing very well, but we're having a drive to celebrate this in honor of her and just to kind of give back because we were poured into and given to so much during that time. I've been in survival mode since then, and I'm coming out of it, and it's like I'm able to like share the story and be able to give back. And so today's the day. We're collecting, there's several businesses around Northwest Arkansas that have agreed for me to put some boxes out for collections for donations. Blended In Salon in Gravette, H&H, the Classics in Hiawassee, sorry. And then also Barley and Vine in Bentonville off the square. The Meadows in Bentonville, Promenade Health and Rehab in Bentonville. And so what we're collecting is Barbies. What's new, we're able to donate to the Ronald McDonald House. They have to make sure that they're new in packaging, and not just Barbies, Barbie branded. New in packages just to protect the kiddos that have compromised immune systems.
Sure.
In addition to that, we're collecting items that will go to the family house that's at Arkansas Children's Hospital. They're comfort and convenience items. So like if you end up there, they will provide you with, soap, shampoo, that type of thing. And I have all the lists of that. And then also craft items. For making craft kits for kiddos that maybe their siblings end up there. And so they'll give a ready-made craft kit that, just to take their mind off of it in a really hard time. And, even the families, will get into doing that together to try to kind of, support the child that's going through a lot as well.
Wow. That is so cool. Such a really practical way for our community to come alongside families like you. And firsthand, right, when you're just in survival mode. And I love your heart to do this. I hope a whole lot of people today, and you're going to be doing this the next few days, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to be collecting today until Saturday.
That is so awesome, Candace. We love the heartbeat behind it. We're going to make that our positive difference story of the day.
Real people, real life. The KLRC Morning Show. 90.9 KLRC.
Dr. Rosemary Flayton from the Center for Healthy Relationships here on the JBU campus is with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
So let's do this. We usually chat relationships. I wanted to ask you about midlife marriage, okay? I feel like there's probably a lot of people in our listening family who are either in it, maybe tried to live through it, trying to survive it. If not, it's coming at some point. And I've found myself with my wife and I, we're about to be empty nesters this fall, and 26 years of marriage. And we're in that stage, like we're trying to find some people too along the way who've lived a couple of steps out ahead and be like, okay, Hey, what'd you learn?
Yeah.
What should we be watching out for? Because, and we were talking off the air about this, I feel like we get better help and advice on how to help your kids launch into that season.
Right.
And less so much about marriage. Or maybe we don't even just think about it as intentionally. It's like, we spend a lot of time thinking about how do we get these kids launched and
Right.
making sure they're ready. And then if we're not careful, and we're like, yeah, but is our marriage ready for that?
Well, I think when we first get married, there's a lot of focus on how do we come together? How do we become one? And then if we have kids, and our focus so often focuses around how do we do this together? And hopefully you do date nights and you're still working on your marriage during that time. But there's a significant shift that comes when the kids actually leave, so the empty nest. I think often we find ourselves starting to feel that when they're in high school. They're more involved in sports more, but they're still there. For the most part, they're still coming home at night, sometimes later than you want them to, right?
Right,
and
yes.
the stresses with that there's a lot of energy, I think, in our marriages that go towards keeping the family together and launching our kids well. So I like what you said, that we put our time and energy into how do we launch our kids well. And I think what we're wanting to talk about today is how do we actually prepare our marriage for suddenly it's just you and your spouse sitting across the table from each other, and you've made, you've got a pan of lasagna that would feed 10 because you're used to doing that. And you're looking down and you go, well, first of all, I don't want to eat lasagna for the next
6 days of leftovers does not sound appealing.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, little things like that, adjustments, you know, as I was a stay-at-home mom, or at least a partial stay-at-home mom for a lot of years. And so much of my focus was on my kids. And I would just remember thinking, this used to feel like Grand Central Station, and suddenly there's no trains coming home anymore. And it was so quiet, and my husband wasn't enough at that point because I'd just had so much activity. And I had to really adjust my expectations of what he would be. So he couldn't feel the excitement that, the 3 kids and their 25 friends had, and what that brought to my life and how much I enjoyed that. So there was really kind of a dialing back of expectations, but then also just realizing, hey, this is actually an opportunity. My husband and I can rejoin. We actually had 8 years before we had kids. We were married for 8 years. Yeah. And it was kind of thinking about, what did we enjoy doing back then? Like, what did we enjoy? How did we enjoy each other? What was our part of our life then? And so even examining some of that and bringing some
revisit
of that
some of that. Yeah, that's really, really good.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
I think we've worked through the stuff, right? But the reality is there's some things that just linger that are going to be the ongoing maintenance of a marriage.
Right, yes. And I think, so John Gottman out of the Gottman Institute says that there's 69% of disagreements that are perpetual and will actually never be resolved. And recently I just said this to a group of young married students, and they're like, wait a minute, we don't have to solve everything?
Right.
Well, the reality is we're two different people. And because there's differences, there'll always be rub. If we put this in the context of middle-aged marriages, I think sometimes that rub almost gets sidelined because you're dealing with the really critical issues sometimes for our kids. Yeah. So those can be sidelined. Take the kids out of the equation, and suddenly now you're feeling this more, and your attention can be there. So this idea that there are issues in your marriage that really can't be resolved, and be okay with that. Learn how to deal with it, such that you're acknowledging there's a problem. So it's not about just putting it under the rug and it never gets dealt with. Look, I think this way, you think that way. How are we going to live together in harmony, even though we have differences? And sometimes that's a matter of we just accept the differences. Yeah. You know what? One person likes to go out for a run on Saturday morning, and the other person likes to stay home and have a coffee. And you don't have to do everything together. There's a term, differentiation, that talks about being able to be in a balance of autonomy and intimacy. So we often think that those are opposites, but you can actually hold both of those together. So we can have intimacy, but we can also be our own person and be okay with that. That's really I think especially as we move into middle-age marriages and beyond, it's really important to know where we have those connections of intimacy and where we have autonomy, and to really celebrate and be that person who you are.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is thinking about those areas that they're still rubbing some friction in our marriages, our relationships, to figure out, okay, is this something that there's some conflict that needs to really be resolved to push into intimacy? Or is this one of those things that we can just let's just live with this? Yeah. Like this is the uniquenesses of who we are.
Sometimes we can actually make fun of it. So we had somebody with us in the vehicle the other day, and he hasn't spent a lot of time with us, but he was driving with us. We pulled into a parking lot, and everything within me wanted to tell my husband where he needed to park. And I could feel this inside me, right? And I said, don't do it. And so then I jokingly said, he pulled in the spot that he should not have parked in my opinion. And for one thing, it was way too far from the door. Like, get the closest spot to the door.
Yeah,
right?
you're one of those.
He's like, get the safest spot so the car won't get dinged. Anyways, I said to this person who's in the car with us, we don't fight about much, but we do argue about where to park. But it's become a joke with us.
Yeah.
Almost, and if there is an edge to it, it's usually because something else has been added to this kind of
so it's not really about the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's really
good. We kind of joke about it. Well, that isn't where I would park. And it's become a place almost of letting off some steam and it's okay to be different.
That's
because
really
there's really no right spot.
Yeah.
Right? In my mind there is, in his mind it is, but in reality there isn't.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
We're talking with Dr. Rosemary from the Center for Healthy Relationships here at JBU. We're talking midlife marriage. Tiff and I, we're there. Last one just graduated from high school. You were talking earlier about how we really do need to be intentional. We need to be kind of preparing for this. So I'm going to ask you the question that I've been asking people in my world for a little while now that have lived a little bit of empty nesting, midlife. What have you learned to help prepare? Like, if you were to tell me, hey, Mark and Tiffany, if there were one or two things, I would say, make sure you think about this or realize this if you're headed into a midlife marriage.
First thing I would say is acknowledge that it is going to change. Like, to think that everything is going to feel the same is not right. We prepare for marriage, and we know that there's going to be adjustments to coming to living together. So this is another way that you're going to need to prepare for. I think you're really wise in getting some wise counsel of people that are already at that stage. Say, hey, what did you do? Take the time to be real with each other. Where are you experiencing loss? How does that, what might you be, because you kind of think, well, no, this is exciting, we've got an empty nest, without acknowledging the loss and some of the grieving that happens, because it's such a significant life change.
Yeah, that's really good. And it feels to me like, I could see a pitfall there, because what I've learned, at least even recently, more about grief is we all grieve differently.
Yes.
And so I'm just thinking about, you're putting two people under one roof through a season that can bring at least some level of loss for everybody. And probably are going to grieve it, I'm assuming, very differently, more than likely. Yeah.
Because I think for me, in our marriage, my grief was I was missing the activity, as I mentioned earlier. But then, so I just wanted to fill it with more activity. And my husband was more hey, now we have a chance actually just to sit at home, and it isn't Grand Central Station. I'm like, but it's too quiet. So giving each other that space to make it become what we want it to be, and together, and then also just finding things that you both love to do. So we did this around that time. We decided we were going to have monthly date nights, and you kind of think, well, wait a minute, it's just the two of us. Why do we need to have a date night? Well, there's an intentionality, because you could very easily fill it with kind of doing whatever.
Right, we just come home, do what we do.
Yeah. So the intentionality of being together, but it was almost like we needed to relearn what we love to do, and so each month we would take turns planning a date night. So when I planned a date night, I did something I wanted to do. I didn't consider what he would want to do. It was and so that was a way of me teaching him kind of what I was wanting to do. He couldn't complain; he had to do it. But then it was
right. He's going to get his turn too.
He was going to get his turn. I mean, we'd been married a lot of years,
Right.
so we had an understanding. I wasn't, he
Gonna pick
wasn't
something he's gonna
exactly.
hate.
That would be something I would go and do with my girlfriends or whatever.
Right.
But there was just this intentionality of relearning what the other person wanted to do, and I think as we move into middle-aged marriages, savoring the privilege of growing old together. We were pretty young. My husband and I got married. I was just barely 20.
Okay.
And I think I remember on our honeymoon saying, I hope we can grow old together. And sometimes we'll stand and look at each other and go, we're growing old together.
We just had that moment last night after a full day, and we had gone out and played some pickleball. Our bodies are feeling it. And literally, we're laying down, and my wife looks over and is like, we're getting old. And I'm like, at least we're doing it together, but we are getting old.
But the privilege of that, really, many people don't have that. And I think in part of that is to not compare or hold each other what we were when we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
You know what? We're getting older, and we have the privilege of doing that side by side and being loved by somebody who knows us and loves us deeply and is committed to us. There's many who don't have that opportunity.
Really good.
And so just realizing the depth of connection that comes with that. And I guess the last thing is, it doesn't matter how many years you've been married, you need to keep working at it. Marriages don't naturally grow together. There's, I think, because we live in a fallen world and there's sin, if left to their own devices, marriages will grow apart. And so with the intentionality of working together to continue to come together, be an intentionality about that.
So good. Before I let you go, for anybody who may be catching this for the first time and hearing about the Center for Healthy Relationships here at JBU, you guys always have really great stuff going on. I know the website's a really good resource. Maybe that's a good place for people to go check out. There's the podcast. You guys have seminars, those kind of things happening.
Yeah, so our website is chr.jbu.edu. You can check out that. And if you wanted to just find out other resources, you're welcome to give us a call at JBU. Send us an email at chr@jbu.edu.
Okay.
And it's always great to be here, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC, the positive difference.
Happy birthday!
This is just so exciting.
Let's keep this party going.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey, happy birthday!
Time for the Marketplace Grill Birthday Bash. It's Mark. Ross, the intern's here too this morning, and we've got a list of birthdays to celebrate today. It is Thursday, the 7th of August, and happy birthday today to Kinley Carter, turning 11 in Lincoln, Tyler Sharp in Siloam Springs, also Dan Stemple in Prairie Grove, and Juan Enriquez in Rogers.
Caleb Graney is turning 18. Kimberly Gardner is turning 41 in Bentonville. Jan Rogers is turning mid-70s in Fayetteville. Havana Hall turning 10 in Bentonville. Bambi Lawless in Siloam Springs is having a birthday. And Adeline Rose Larson is turning 7 in Gravette.
Okay, lots of birthdays today. That means lots of names in the randomizer. One of you gets a gift certificate to celebrate with our friends at the Marketplace Grill. And Kinley Carter in Lincoln. Congrats.
Hi, it's Sean Sawatsky, General Manager at 90.9 KLRC.